Ordinals, BRC20, NFTs, how are they affecting the latest fees on the Bitcoin network? All right, everybody, so welcome. Here we have the all-time Bitcoin transaction fees in dollar terms, daily average transaction. We can see two major spikes here. They got up to $70 on average at the end of 2017, as well as $60 on average in spring of 2021, both of which were massive spikes, the biggest spikes that had happened to date at each time on the Bitcoin network, the biggest spike in fees. And I don't doubt that that's probably going to happen again, even though we're continuing to have layer 2, more abstracted Bitcoin transactions. You still are going to have this on-chain fee pressure occur when the market booms. But this was the story last month, wasn't it? Start of May 8th here, we got up to $30. I did some recordings right around this moment. We weren't sure if this was going to peak or not. I think I literally did a recording right on this day, so you saw this peak at $30. We weren't sure what was going to happen. And then we saw it come back down, and it has not been as low in the last month as it has prior to this run up. We see that we were, $1 on average, $1.50, $2, or even sometimes well below $1, leading up to this spike in May of 2023. And since then, after the spike, which again was less than a 2-week period here, we're at $5, $6, $3, $4, trending a little bit lower now to about $2.28, $2.72 on average per transaction as of June 28th, as of the last couple days on the Bitcoin network. As always, remember, this is in dollars per transaction on average, but this is not the native transaction fee on the network. That is in Satoshis per byte, or Satoshis per virtual byte, as it became to known after the activation of SegWit in August 2017. That is the native unit. The Satoshi, 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis, 21 million Bitcoin. That is the native unit of Bitcoin, and that is how fees are going to be priced. So fees per byte, and it depends on the data, the jumbling of data, how efficient the data is when it passes through a block, how much that price, that intersection of supply and demand will be. So it's Satoshis per virtual byte, but of course, still to this day, it's going to be easier for people to understand it in dollars per transaction on average per day. That's what we're looking at here. So yeah, just wanted to show you that it was indeed a short-term thing. I'm not so ingrained in this market, I can't tell you when the next fee spike is going to happen with NFTs on Bitcoin. If you just looked at this at the moment, you would just think it was a flash in the pan, sort of one-off thing. History shows us, of course, though, that that's not always the case. I talked about this in the last few videos. We had spikes. I'm sure that we'll have them again, and I'm sure that we'll have them, like I just said, during booms. But one other thing I just want to say with this quick video here, let's go ahead and look again at the percentage on a trailing 12-month basis of issuance as a portion of the total block reward or total block revenue for miners. Okay, so in dollar terms, it's in green. In Bitcoin terms, which is the native term, the native unit, again, it's in orange. They track very closely. You can see just in the crazy times, they get a little bit more, the spread there between these percentages changes, but it's usually pretty close, okay? And what are you looking at here? Well, again, as I always say, you got to look at things on a trailing 12-month basis to make any sense of them, to really understand if this is a sustainable trend or not. And you can see as these fees were building up here in 2017 on a per transaction basis in dollar terms, both in Bitcoin terms and in dollar terms on a trailing 12-month basis, fees were becoming a larger percentage of the block reward, of block revenue. Because remember, the block reward, well, to be completely technical, the block reward is the 6.25 Bitcoins that comes out every block, 900 Bitcoins per day. As you see here, that changed after having 3, having 2, having 1. And originally it was 50 Bitcoins per block for the first epoch, the first 4 years of Bitcoin. So we're going to have another halving number 4, less than 1 year from now, where it will go down to 3.125 Bitcoins per block. So that is technically the block reward or issuance, new Bitcoins that come into existence. And miners are rewarded for finding the nonce and producing a block. The fees are the other portion. It's the other portion of the revenue. Basically, it's what they're accepting and what users are willing to pay to get their transactions into a block. That, of course, is the fee, the transaction fee. Nothing is for free in this world. And so we can see again here, big spikes here in 2021, up to $60, $70 here in 2017. And then here, just a fairly short-lived, like I said, flash in the pan type of transaction. But if you look on a trailing 12-month basis here, it does change the picture, right? Before this event, we were at 98%, both in dollar terms and in Bitcoin terms, new coins as a function of miner revenue and fees over the prior trailing 12 months, not just one day, not just 1 month, but a prior 365-day rolling period. Fees were less than 2%. Less than 2% of miner revenue. But then, of course, you see that with this spike, that changes the picture. And it's more gradual, this change here. So it goes down, and it's still falling because as long as this 365-day rolling period occurs, we will catch this spike. So now, fees are over 3%, both in Bitcoin terms and in dollar terms, over 3%, not as high as 4%. Of miner revenue, but still the block reward, new coins, that's 96% of miner revenue. And you can see, indeed, the nadir of this sort of trend, meaning where issuance is the lowest percentage of miner revenue, occurs just a little bit after these spikes. And I do suspect that will be the same here because, again, it's only a couple days here you're picking up, although it is a lot of fee revenue for miners. It was these days here in early May. That's not as high now, and so this trend will start to go back up. So again, it's just a long-term thing. It's, you can read all the tweets you want about ordinals and how BRC20, which is even less efficient than an ordinal, NFTs on Bitcoin, that they're just going to kill the network. Or you can just look at the facts, and this is actually what happened. I don't know what miner revenue should be. The only thing I know for sure, and the only thing anyone knows for sure, is that eventually the miner revenue will be comprised of more than 50% fees than issuance at some point. No one knows when that will occur, but it seems so far we are very far away from that. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but everybody knows that there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins. Everybody knows that the halving occurs every 4 years, so less issuance, less block reward, less new coins are a portion of miner revenue every year. But we're not even close to that at the moment. We're just not even close to it. Still 96, 97% is new coins. Fees are 3-4% at the moment. And before this spike, they were 2%, 1%. Okay. So that's all I wanted to show. Again, don't get too worked up about it. Definitely try to look big picture, zoom out if you can, and enjoy the beauty of Bitcoin. Thanks for watching.